So we're here with Jonathan Udell from Rose Law Group, and we're going to talk about Prop 207. So one of the things that many people feel concerned regarding Prop 207 is safety. Tell me what you would tell someone who may be increased or who may be concerned about an increase in DUIs.
Sure. So let me start with, what the law is right now. So as it is right now, someone who can be pulled over who smoked marijuana, 20 days ago, they can be found to have metabolites in their system. And as a result of that, they can be charged with a DWI regardless of whether or not they're intoxicated. So the Smart and Safe Arizona Act would really implement a pretty serious set of restrictions. So if someone has metabolites in their system and they're impaired to the slightest degree, they'll be able to be charged with a DWI. I've heard a lot of criticism on the right just in a debate yesterday with Lisa James about these rates in Colorado and in other states that are increasing. And to respond to that, I would point out that they're increasing, first of all, at a very moderate rate. And I think there's some question too as to whether these are statistics that are increasing as a result of increased enforcement and monitoring of people who are pulled over, because Colorado in the last few years has significantly increased its spending on detecting people who are driving while intoxicated with marijuana. So they've actually gone out, they've retained people who specialize in examining people who are pulled over and seeing whether or not they're intoxicated with marijuana. And on top of that, I would say that, this is all about risk tolerance. And if you're willing to take the risk of smoking marijuana while it's a felony in Arizona and then getting in a car and driving now, I don't think there's a lot of people who are sitting on the sidelines right now, not using marijuana because they're afraid of the criminal risk, but they're willing to take the risk of getting into a car and driving while intoxicated. So I think there's some question as to whether or not those statistics are really all that valid. And I would also point out that the Congressional Research Service, who's really not much of a friend of marijuana legalization, has said themselves that there really is no definitive evidence showing that marijuana increases the risk of traffic accidents. So, caffeine, like marijuana, is an intoxicating, a mind-altering substance, and I don't think there's really any evidence that it increases the risk of accidents. So there's a couple of different points. First of all, I'm not sure that marijuana legalization actually increases the risk of the extent of intoxicated drivers on the roads, number one. And number two, if it does, it's not all that clear that it leads to more traffic accidents. And number three, we're still going to be cracking down on marijuana DWIs. The law certainly doesn't, give you a free pass to do that. And it even includes a provision that allows the legislature to amend the law down the road. And whenever we develop a breathalyzer that can actually detect marijuana intoxication, you'll be able to be charged as a result of that.